Welcome back to Ultimate Fight News. UFC 313 just went down, and we've got major controversy brewing in the light heavyweight division. Magomed Ankalaev secured a victory over Alex Pereira, but the way he won has fans and fighters divided. Was this a dominant performance or just a boring, safe strategy? Pereira isn't happy, Ankalaev is clapping back, and the MMA world is fired up. Let's break down everything that happened inside the Octagon and what could be next. Heading into this fight, everyone knew Alex Pereira's best weapon was his striking. With legendary knockout power, Pereira is one of the scariest stand-up fighters in the UFC. But Ankalaev? He had a completely different game plan. Right from the start, Ankalaev used his wrestling to shut down Pereira's offense. He pressed him against the cage, constantly looking for takedowns and neutralizing Pereira's kicks and punches. For 5 rounds, Ankalaev controlled the pace, never allowing Pereira to get comfortable. While Pereira did have moments where he managed to strike in the clinch, he simply couldn't find enough space to let his power shots fly. When the final bell rang, it was clear Ankalaev had dominated the control aspect of the fight. The judges saw it the same way and gave him the win. But Pereira? He didn't take it well. After the fight, Pereira wasted no time expressing his frustration. He believes Ankalaev's strategy wasn't about winning convincingly. It was about playing it safe. He said, "Putting me up against the cage, he didn't really do anything. Giving him the win with a game plan like that incentivizes people to do that." Pereira is essentially calling out the UFC's judging system, arguing that Ankalaev won by stalling instead of truly fighting. And let's be real, this is a common debate in MMA. Some fighters win by control, even if they aren't doing much damage. But Ankalaev? He's not buying that excuse. In his post-fight interview, Ankalaev fired back at Pereira's complaints. He wasn't happy with the criticism and made it clear that he believed he was the only one actually trying to fight. For 20 minutes, he was running away from me, and then he's wondering why I got a victory. I'm happy for the rematch if he wants one, but maybe this time, he'll fight for real and not run away the entire time. Ankalaev is painting a very different picture here. He's saying Pereira was avoiding engagement and didn't do enough to win. This just fuels the ongoing debate in MMA. Should control in wrestling be rewarded as much as striking? Or should the UFC push for more aggressive, damage-based judging criteria? Now, here's where things get interesting. Despite the post-fight trash talk, Ankalaev actually showed some respect for Pereira on social media. He posted, "At Alex Pereira UFC, it was an honor sharing the cage with you. You are a great champion, and your team, your coaches have a lot of class. Let's run it back anytime you want." This leaves the door wide open for a rematch. The big question is, does Pereira want one? If Pereira wants to reclaim his title, he'll have to adjust his game plan to counter Ankalaev's wrestling. If they fight again, will Pereira be able to land that one clean knockout shot? Or will he struggle against Ankalaev's control again? And what about the UFC? Will they even grant an immediate rematch? Or will Ankalaev move on to a different challenge while Pereira rebuilds his path back to the top? Right now, the UFC has some tough decisions to make. If Pereira doesn't get an immediate rematch, who should he fight next? Should he take on another top contender to prove he deserves another shot at the belt? And what about Ankalaev? With this win, he has solidified himself as one of the most dominant light heavyweights in the division. But will he get the respect he feels he deserves? Or will fans continue to criticize his fighting style? This fight wasn't just about who won, it was about how they won, and that's why fans are so divided. Now we want to hear from you. Did Magomed Ankalaev deserve the win? Was his strategy smart, or was it just a boring way to play it safe? Should Alex Pereira get an immediate rematch, or does he need to prove himself again? Drop your thoughts in the comments, hit that like button if you enjoyed the video, and don't forget to subscribe for all the latest UFC news and fight breakdowns. We'll see you next time on Ultimate Fight News.